A lot of things are going on around James Harden. He threw a ball at his teammate Tate, and now we're seeing that maybe the Denver Nuggets are stepping up to the plate with 76ers and Nets and Celtics and Raptors to go get James Harden. So let's talk about it. Before we start, I want to hear down below in the comments, who do you think is going to trade for James Harden right now? So James Harden has a lot of teams to go to, and the first team that just said they won't trade one player, Jamal Murray, won't be traded for James Harden. But the Denver Nuggets are an interesting team. I don't believe they're going to trade to the Western Conference because obviously you never want to trade inside your conference. But if they did trade him, it would have to be around Gary Harris, I believe, Michael Porter Jr., and maybe RJ Hampton or Zeke Nnaji. Or they could do Gary Harris, Will Barton, and Michael Porter Jr. I just think they're giving up too much there. So I just don't think they're going to do a James Harden trade, in my opinion. I just don't think they're going to want to do that. I really believe, like, if you're looking at the team, you're just like, hey, I don't think they want to give up on Jamal Murray. They like Jamal Murray, so they're not going to trade on him. They think Michael Porter Jr. has a lot of talent. So if I was them, I wouldn't give up shit for Michael Porter Jr. I really think he's their guy, and I don't know. I think giving up Gary Harris and Zeke Nnaji and RJ Hampton would be fine, okay? I would be completely fine for that and for James Harden. Obviously, the Houston Rockets would not be fine with that. But Gary Harris, yeah, he's got great defense, and he showed up kind of defensively in the playoffs, but offensively, he's not been the same player that we thought he once was going to be. So with that being said, I do think the best thing for them to do is to look around and they're not going to go over to the Denver Nuggets. That's not going to happen. So for the Nuggets, they're just going to continue developing the team they want. But now that we're going to talk about another team, let's say the Nets, I only see the Nets getting James Harden if they have to blow it up. James Harden is only going to the Nets if they get blown out by the Warriors. If the Warriors blow out the Nets tonight in the first game of the season, I would not be surprised if they trade for James Harden. I don't know why I was blanking on James Harden. But granted, James Harden has been beefing. He had an outburst. They were saying it's just because he's super competitive, yada, yada. But I don't know if that's true. That's what they were saying. So, it's pretty much anybody's guess at this point. We don't know if he's actually beefing or if they're trying to cover this up. I feel like it's a lot covering up and they're trying to save face and not give him up. I love the hand emoji or the hand pic he sent on Instagram saying F Adam Silver. Kind of funny, but yeah, my audio crapped out, so this was me re-recording what I had originally recorded. So it's gonna hop into where I was just leaving on, which was just going into the Toronto Raptors being traded. So don't hate me, like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's get back into the video. Toronto Raptors, to make this trade work, I really think the Raptors don't want to get depleted. I think the Raptors were one of those teams that they were like, hey, we do want to get Giannis, but we don't want to deplete the roster now that Giannis isn't available and James Harden is. Because if they straight up tried Pascal Siakam for James Harden, the Raptors would need to cut about $2 million. So with that being said, who else would they throw on? I think they would have to throw OG Anunoby. I almost said OJ. OG Anunoby at least, and some picks. They might have to throw in McCaw, Stanley Johnson. Like, I could see a deal where they threw in McCaw, Stanley Johnson, and Terrence Davis. I feel like that's... And in that case, the Toronto Raptors would actually be... Not the Raptors, the Houston Rockets would actually not be. So I could see James Harden, PJ Tucker be traded for Pascal Siakam, McCaw, OG Anunoby, Stanley Johnson, and Terrence Davis, and a few picks. I could see that trade actually happening. The Rockets wouldn't be as good, I believe. This deal, I think the Raptors win it. So let's do a different trade. If we're talking about the Boston Celtics, this deal that I think we would have to see the Celtics do is definitely will be Jaylen Brown. It will be centered around Jaylen Brown, which we talked about in my last video if you did see it from about 48 hours ago. Jaylen Brown, and I really think they're going to have to throw in Daniel Tice and probably Romeo Langford, because I don't think they're going to want to give up Marcus Smart. So maybe Semi Ojeleye, then Carson Edwards. I think maybe that's enough. Yeah, that's enough. That would be enough. This trade would help the Boston Celtics, but I don't even think the Boston Celtics win that much. This would be the best trade for the Houston Rockets, though, in the sense of getting young talent. They get Jaylen Brown as a replacement for James Harden, Daniel Tice at the center position, Romeo Langford, Semi Ojeleye, and Carson Edwards. So you got pretty much 4 young guys. You got 1 established guy. You got 3 guys to bargain on, and then you have a center with Daniel Tice, which I think that's actually really not a bad deal for them. I think that's actually like a really decent deal. And we talked about the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets deal would be extreme. So if we want to talk about potentially having a Brooklyn Nets deal, which I have said repeatedly, I don't think a Brooklyn Nets deal is at all going to happen. But for that to happen, it would have to be a deal, obviously, around Karis LeVert. I don't know if you would want to give up Spencer Dinwiddie or would you give up Taurean Prince. I think I like Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he offers more than Taurean Prince. So I think I would put Taurean Prince there and DeAndre Jordan. So that would make the deal work right there. Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince, and DeAndre Jordan. Probably some picks in there. I mean, they might throw in PJ Tucker at that point. So if they really wanted to throw PJ Tucker because he's disgruntled, you could throw in, at that point, you might have to throw in Spencer Dinwiddie. But I think, yeah, you might actually have to throw in Spencer Dinwiddie because I want to give up Bruce Brown. Maybe throw in Nicholas. Yeah, you get PJ Tucker and James Harden if you throw in Bruce Brown, Karukos, the Europe guy, and Nick Claxton. So you'd be giving up 6 players just for 2 players. Basically, I don't think you're improving the Nets at all. This deal actually kind of helps out the Rockets. This is probably the best deal for the Rockets. Karis LeVert, Taurean Prince, DeAndre Jordan, the Euro guy, Karooks, Bruce Brown, Nicholas Claxton. I really think that's like their best deal for them right there. But goddamn. So I want to hear your comments down below, guys, in the comments section. Where do you think he's going to go in? Let me take a sip of some Coke Zero right in front of the camera. Can you hear it? I spilled a little. That's some good ass Coke Zero. But that was pretty much the video. We're making it to 8 minutes right here. So if you're part of the 8-minute club, what is up? Try to make all my videos be 8 minutes so you get that sweet ad revenue. And that's the plan. My videos are hopefully going to be a little different when I get back home. I'm going to have a lot more time. And we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. That's fucking crazy. 2,000 subscribers. Been doing this for 6 years. And this year, I've gained, in 6 months, 500 subscribers. It's really not that much. But Rome wasn't built in one day, is something my dad always told me. And I got patience. All I got is time, motherfuckers. So I hope you guys have a great day. Let me hear those comments down below. Subscribe for more NBA content like this. As always, guys, I hope you guys have a great day because I know I will. Till next, guys. Peace out.